Welcome to Fire Walk with us. This week we're talking about the episode Arbitrary Law. I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
And Justin.
So, I didn't write a plot synopsis because nothing happens in this episode.
Albert comes back for some reason. I don't know. It's not like anything really happened, right?
Yeah, nope, nothing happens.
Alright.
Dude!
They find Maddie's body wrapped in plastic from last episode.
Wrapped in plastic.
Dude!
Anyway, I did actually write a plot synopsis. So here we go. This might take a minute. With the discovery of Maddie Ferguson's dead body, Cooper and Truman, aided by Albert Feld, push their investigation into full drive. Catherine, disguised once again as Mr. Tujimara, visit Ben in jail and tells him that she will give him his alibi if she signs the sawmill and the Ghostwood developments over to her. Ben does, and not surprisingly, Catherine goes back on her words and leaves him without making a statement. Which I just love.
Because you know that's how she is.
Meanwhile, Leland/Bob learn about Laura's secret diary from Donna, who learns about Maddie's murder from Sheriff Truman. James does not take the news of Maddie's fate easily and hits the road on his motorcycle. And he also learns about Lucy's tryst with the smug Dick Tremaine, which is just a perfect name for him. And Lucy tells him that she's keeping her baby and will choose one of them to be the father. Norma continues to deal with her difficult mother, who constantly criticizes and puts down her attempts to bond. Donna follows a lead from the late Harold Smith, leading to a mysterious page from Laura's secret diary, and also discovers the appearance of a different Mrs. Tremont, not the old lady and her grandson, whom were apparent spirits. Cooper assembles all of the suspects present at the roadhouse, where a flashback vision from Laura Palmer identifies the killer. That's what happens this episode. Alrighty, so where do we want to start?
Have we even seen Leland? I mean, seriously? Have we even seen Leland?
No.
Just... my brain!
J'ai une amie solitaire.
Lonely soul. Alright, so...
I'm just wondering why Andy just tries to say that.
A bunch of stuff happens in this episode.
So many things. I feel like Cooper at the start of it with him under so much pressure.
Okay. So, we start off with Cooper talking about the dream he shared with Laura.
Yeah.
And how she told him who the killer was, but he can't remember.
Well, I think it was kind of a case of she mentioned it, he probably heard it, forgot it when he woke up, but we didn't hear it specifically.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously.
Cooper is told that you have all of the clues you need by Mike.
Yes.
Not in the head, but in the heart?
No, in his stomach, Justin.
In his stomach.
That's where you do
it was more so in the heart in these two places.
Alright.
I know. We get to see the old waiter again.
Yes,
we
Thumbs
do.
up.
And he becomes rather important later on in the episode.
Yes.
It was hams.
Mr. Tojimura visits Ben, as we discussed in the plot synopsis, and I just love Catherine being like, thanks for the sawmill and Ghostwood Estates. Fuck you, Ben.
Well, aside from that, and also doing the foot fetishy thing, it's just kind of, okay, you have your fun dragging Ben through the mud.
I guess that's one way she reveals herself.
Yeah, I love... She has a great line that... it's something to the effect of, our entire relationship is built on lies, why spoil it with the truth now?
Yes, the last thing she says before heading out.
Donna tells Leland about Laura's secret diary, and Leland gets a little worried.
Yeah, just a little bit. And that was a fairly decent bit where it's like, Donna, leave. Don't say anything more. Get out of there now. And, don't you dare dance with him.
Oh, God. Yes, that dance was a bit upsetting. I'm pretty sure she was left kind of scared after that, but she didn't really mention it afterwards, so...
It leaves me a bit sad that she wasn't like, oh dear God, he might actually be the killer. More so in the case of, oh my gosh, he's mildly crazy and my best friend is dead.
And saved by Harry.
Yes.
James leaves on his motorcycle after talking with Donna.
That's kind of a dick move.
Well, I mean...
He's not exactly very strong with controlling the emotions.
And to be fair, in the last 3 weeks, he's had 2 people that he knows murdered.
Yeah. Both looking nearly identical.
Yeah.
It's nearly the case with that one particular show. It's a little sad. It leaves me the question if he's actually managed to kiss them.
So, everybody is gathered at the Roadhouse.
Yeah, even Leo.
Well, everyone within
Leo,
the sense
Bobby,
of who's
all the
supposedly
suspects.
important.
Leo, Bobby,
Yeah, all of the people who could, who are really the suspects. And Cooper and Albert. And...
all of them. I'm actually decently surprised they never bothered raising that much of an eyebrow to how Bobby was treating Leo, taking him across the room.
I really don't think anybody cares. Like, I don't think anybody really likes Leo. So they're just kind of like,
Nah.
Leo deserves it.
Nah.
The waiter and Major Briggs arrive.
Indeed.
Yeah.
The waiter waved down Major Briggs and asked him to drive him to the Roadhouse specifically for this meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And we find out what the line that was uttered in the first or second episode, that gum you like is coming back into style.
Yes.
Yes, that apparently sets something off.
That's our final clue. Before the killer is revealed.
Yeah.
Well, revealed. Not actually specifically revealed in show until later, but...
No, but it's revealed to the audience.
Yes.
Where Laura whispers to Cooper, "My father killed me."
Yes.
So, Cooper tells Sheriff Truman to take Ben back to the station and tells him to bring Leland as his lawyer.
Yes.
That's
Which is a bit questionable. I'm like, okay, is
Well,
that
you need someone.
Well, and also he's like, I can't just say Leland, like, I'm going to arrest Leland because Leland's...
Oh yes, he is insane.
Yeah.
Well, he's also possessed by a demon.
Yeah.
That too.
Leland gets trapped in the interrogation room and starts freaking the shit out.
Throws a tantrum.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay. So they have a scene where Leland is on this chair and he's handcuffed and he's got this, like, really great evil smile. And it's so fucking creepy.
Yeah.
And I love it.
No, he did a very good job with that sort of stuff.
Bob says, "You've been a good vehicle, Leland, but your time is up." We find out that Bob wanted to possess Laura.
Huh.
Yes.
But Laura wouldn't let him.
Okay then.
I think the one particular question is why?
Leland then dies after Bob leaves his body and he realizes what he did.
Well, I think the couple of smashes to the head from the middle door probably did that.
Well, yes.
Well, that and kind of... Well, I guess the fire alarm and the sprinkler didn't really do too much, but, I mean...
The water is like pouring
setting
down, and it's a really cool
And of
visual.
course, out of all the particular people that could have caused that, turned out to be Dick.
Yeah, smoking set off the fire sprinkler, whatever.
Yeah. The next day, I'm assuming, they go for a little walk in the woods and they find Mr. Briggs, or Major Briggs, and that's Truman, Albert, and Cooper.
He's just hanging out in the woods.
Yes.
And they have a chat about Leland and Bob. And Albert says that Bob is just the evil that men do. But Cooper doesn't exactly buy that.
Nah, I probably have to agree with the Culpas.
And Cooper asks, quite possibly the most important question at this point in the show, where is Bob now?
Well, indeed.
Very good question.
As we see someone or something running through the forest and an owl flying at the camera as credits roll.
Yes.
So Leland is now dead.
Leland is dead.
Sadness.
Our next episode is going to be at least in part Leland's funeral.
Okay, well, that's understandable. Maybe in part also Maddie's.
I don't remember.
Well, I mean, they didn't really hold a funeral or anything for her yet.
Well, no, but they just got her out of, the plastic she was wrapped in.
And they found the letter O.
Yes. And
So
he was spelling Robert.
Yes.
Yes. Alrighty, so what did you all learn in this episode about Twin Peaks?
So we learned that...
Bob is nuts.
Well, no, Bob is evil.
No, nuts within the sense of all the particular things that he can supposedly do, and the fact that we still don't completely understand him with all the stuff that he can supposedly do.
We learned that Leland killed Laura Palmer.
Yes. We did.
The murderer has been discovered, and then they kill him.
Well,
and we're only 8 episodes into season 2.
Yes, so the series is not over because Bob is still a thing that has been created within the show.
And I think the one particular question is, I think we discussed it earlier, of the discussion of how the show sort of started and what Mr. Litch kind of had in mind for how the show sort of went, but then how it had to be kind of adjusted for once they kind of got their limit of how far they had to go.
Well, okay, so the reason they reveal the killer is primarily because ratings weren't doing terribly well. So the show premiered, off the top of my head, I want to say around 34 million people watching the pilot. Yeah. At this point, they were down to about 11 million.
Well, still quite a few, anyway.
That's also your audience being cut to a third.
Yeah.
I know.
It's a pretty big draw.
But that's still a large audience.
Yeah, but it's also television in the 90s, and you were expected to pull 20 million people. So, what else did you learn in this episode? Because there are a few important things that we learned that I didn't bring up yet.
Is the gum supposedly important?
No, that's just kind of the final clue for to tell the audience who the killer is. Although it is probably the most quoted line of the show.
The gum you like is coming back in style.
So we find out, and I don't know if you caught this, but Leland says that Bob possessed him when he was a child.
Yes.
Supposedly, yeah. By, their neighbor or somebody.
Yeah, and basically how it works is Leland invited him in.
How would that have been the case then?
Well, so here's my understanding of how possession works in Twin Peaks. To my understanding is a spirit can't forcefully possess someone in this universe.
Yeah.
They have to be invited in. So Leland, for whatever reason, invited the spirit in. And when Bob wanted to possess Laura...
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah, he was bored. And when Bob wanted to possess Laura, she wouldn't let him. So he got pissed off and killed her, basically.
Yeah. Well, if it was the case that Leland was a kid when it happened, he wouldn't have known any better. So, it definitely would have made decent enough sense.
Apparently also, Laura knew that she was going to die.
Yes, that is...
Another point to make that was mentioned in the diary.
Yes. So, if you watch the Twin Peaks movie Fire Walk with Me, they go into more detail on that.
I honestly think it's kind of a case of, sure, she was strong enough to sort of stay out of Bob's grasp. If she didn't bother taking that route, she probably couldn't have. That and Bob probably wouldn't have been patient enough to bother going much further.
No. So, at this point, do either of you have any questions for me?
So what happened to the old lady?
She's a spirit.
She's just a spirit, and the grandson is also a spirit?
Yes.
Okay.
But the creamed corn will still be important.
God.
Hey, we have to keep that in mind now.
Garimbogia.
So, does she still have to deliver Meals on Wheels there?
I don't know the answer to that, Justin.
Because that's kind of a weird sort of a situation where you find out the people that you've been delivering to don't exist.
Yep.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you if she still has to deliver Meals on Wheels to that house. Like, I don't have a route in front of me.
it makes me slightly concerned that Donna's going to be next up on the chopping block for things. Both with being involved with the case as it sort of goes, and her being so emotionally unstable with Johnny?
James.
Where does Johnny come from?
There's no Johnny. There is a Johnny in the show. But we haven't seen him for,
no,
a dozen episodes.
And they'll most likely mess his name up as soon as he shows up. But yeah, leaves me a bit concerned that, we'll have to keep an eye on Donna because something's going to happen with her. Either her or Audrey. But Audrey sort of seems to be in a point of she's doing what she can to help, aside from the fact that it can get somewhat extreme with the last stunt she pulled.
Well, and, Audrey's storyline right now, she can go off and do something with Ben. That story can kind of take its own... she doesn't have to be involved with the main plot, really. Because that's a whole thing that has to be dealt with.
True, but with her connection to Cooper, she's most likely going to be sticking around in some way, I'm sure.
Okay. So, did you have a question for me, Dave?
Nah, I think that pretty much covers it as it is.
Okay. Now, I have a question for the two of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here?
That's basically the question I have to ask, though.
You're going to need to keep those eyes on the skies for them owls.
Because the owls aren't what they seem.
So, where do you think the story goes from here? Do you have any ideas?
It's going to be a wonderful guessing game of being like, is this person acting in character? Oh my gosh, there's a change in this one particular person. Who's Bobbin now?
So
this kind of makes me think of a particular part in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 4, where the killer switches bodies with another, individual, takes somebody else as a host.
Okay. I'm going to give you a slight spoiler. We aren't going to be solving another murder right away.
Well, no.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
I can't imagine
much.
there will be any more murders right now.
It's just going to be building up that wonderful tension until it reaches
just
that
gonna be
wonderful
finding
breaking
out
point again.
Who or where will Bob be?
Yes. And we are very shortly going to start hearing about something called the Black Lodge and the White Lodge.
Yep.
Because, they need to do a whole bunch of world building within this world.
Yeah, they haven't really done enough with, the Red Room and the whatever else there is here.
The Red Room might be connected to one of those.
The gasp.
Oh, that's great.
I can't wait until you get to Season 3, Justin.
Oh, boy.
And it gets even more metaphysical than it's going to now.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good.
So do either of you have anything to bring up that we haven't talked about yet?
No, I think as it is, it's good.
I'm trying to think. There was a lot that happened in this episode still.
There's a lot that happens in this episode.
It's hard to mention every little detail that happens with this singular episode.
Yeah.
Probably be here all day.
More so, yeah.
But nothing really sticks out what will happen next too much.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So our next episode is called Dispute Between Brothers.
So I assume that would have to deal with Ben and Jerry?
Maybe.
That's the only brothers I can think of.
A couple of bullet points for this episode. We're going to have Leland laid to rest. Cooper's going to say his goodbyes. And...
Cooper? No.
Jean Reno is going to make a return.
Oh, of course.
Oh,
because
and two other important things. Nadine is going to enroll in high school.
Oh, awesome.
Oh,
I was wondering what was going to become of her.
And Major Briggs is going to go fishing with Cooper.
Are they going to find another body wrapped in plastic? No.
They're going to find something in the woods.
What isn't in the woods nowadays?
Alrighty. What did y'all think of the reveal of the killer?
Honestly, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, obviously. But, I mean, the fact that it's also the supernatural force, in a way, that is the actual kind of killer.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's also the fact that apparently Bob has been with Leland this whole time. So, I mean, he's grown up and gotten married and had kids while still having Bob with him.
Yes.
That's a bit crazy.
Just kind of a case of, nah, gotta lay low. Don't need to bother with stuff. Then something comes up, he's like, hello, gonna get active again.
So they do set up who the killer is really well.
Yeah,
because they are giving you clues that if you're actually paying attention, you could theoretically figure it out.
Yeah.
Which I really love, because they actually play fair with this, because it is possible that you could figure out, oh, it's this person because X, Y, and Z.
Unlike other situations where it's like they give you particular points, but they're red herrings, and then the one particular person that knows all the particular things got all the clues, but you don't get all the clues until the very end when they reveal who the actual person is.
So are you going to explain the ceiling fan now?
It'd be nice.
Nope. I can't because stuff we're still going to be dealing with.
Great. So apparently there's more to it than just,
I will explain the ceiling fan at the end of season 2.
Oh, okay.
I promise.
Oh, that's a promise. Alright, that's still a ways away, though.
Is that how long it's really going to take for that?
Yeah. Well, technically, I could force you to wait until the end of season 3.
Oh my god.
But I'm not that cruel.
And the red lights?
Skipping record?
I will
Well,
explain all of it at the end of
skipping
season
was-
2, just remind me. Alright, do either of you have anything left to add?
No, I think as it is, that covers everything for this.
That'll be all for now, I think.
Alright, well this has been Fire Walk with us. I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
And Justin.